Yo, what's going on, guys? Rob here from Shonen Showdown, and I have everyone here. If you want to introduce yourselves.
What's going on, guys? Chili Rex. You can follow me there everywhere.
Gabe from Smile Bomb.
AK, your cool substitute.
Kumar_Sutra.
Perry, Manga Perry.
Chris, Chips and Noodles.
I asked everybody their favorite anime, and I put them on a bracket. As you guys can see here, we have everybody going up against each other with their favorite anime. First up, we have Sword Art Online and Code Geass.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Here we go.
All right, before you guys debate, there is a twist. There's gonna be a bunch of different parameters, and we're gonna choose which one you're going with.
Antagonist.
I'll let you start.
Alright. So Code Geass has to have one of like the best set of antagonists. One, it's Lelouch constantly being betrayed by the people who are closest to him. So you have his dad at first, with the whole thing when he was a kid. And then you have his best friend Suzaku throughout the entirety of the series until he gets to that point where it's, you die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. Just because of that, just that dynamic of people who are close to him, and then he kind of follows along that similar path. Code Geass.
Alright, let me get in here for SAO real quick. So,
Yeah, good luck.
this
good
was
luck.
Yes.
this was one I was hoping wouldn't come up for SAO, just because it's not the strongest, but I think, especially season 1, part 1, Akihiko Kaiba, the creator of SAO Sword Art Online, he had this dream when he was a kid, and it was to create this world that he himself couldn't live in, but to create this world where everybody could come and live in, and his whole reason was it was a dream of his that he had as a kid, and he followed that dream. The issue is, as we go into, unfortunately, I have to do the entirety of season 1. Season 1, part 2 does not have the best antagonist in the world.
my girlfriend.
Yeah, so season 1, part 2, we're gonna talk about this real quick because everybody knows this is understood to be the worst part of SAO. And the antagonist in that one just was a massive creep and a dude that loved Asuna and wanted to marry Asuna and was like, I'm gonna keep her trapped in this game because she can't say no otherwise. So he engages in certain acts of sexual harassment. So unfortunately, I can't ignore that part for this, which sucks. Damn. Obviously, SAO is my favorite show. I am also a fan of Code Geass, though, and I recognize that story in Code Geass, I love that. I love the antagonist in Code Geass and everything they have to deal with, so I don't even think I could really put up a fair argument with this one. I think I would have to concede if it had gotten fights, animation, OST, waifus, definitely waifus. I could definitely fight for it a lot harder, but even I recognize that the antagonists are one of the weaker points of SAO.
Yeah, I'm going Code Geass.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes. I think since they're even both in a consensus about it, it only makes sense to go Code Geass.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it, man.
You hate to see
So
it.
that's a rough
hate to
draw.
see it.
A rough draw for me.
Code
I think there
Geass.
might be a conspiracy theory here because but we will settle that another time. All right.
Code Geass makes it to the next round. Chili, Shadow Realm, Wayne. All right, so next up we have Cyberpunk Edgerunners going up against Dragon Ball Z. Let's do it.
Let's go.
What the?
Go. Have you seen Cyberpunk?
Yeah, I have. And
Good
the
call
fact
out,
that
good
it's
call
just
out.
even a conversation.
Wait, what's the parameters though?
Don't worry, it don't matter
You
what
don't-
parameter.
it don't matter?
It don't matter. Any angle, off axis. By the way, real quick, favorite anime is not Dragon Ball Z. Out of this list is fullmetal. Just so we know. I was given Dragon Ball.
We have cast.
Oh.
That who has a better cast?
You don't even know my cast. I know your cast, and really.
Isn't that the argument? Period. Alright, thanks.
So the first 5 episodes,
Alright.
goated, amazing art. All those characters are amazing. David's dope. They're all great. The second act, after Main gets off and David goes through the Shonen time skip, so weak. Characters are misused. There's a reason why Dragon Ball's been going on for so long. It's because of the cast. You only got one season.
And yet it became anime of the year.
Anime, so many things become anime
And
every
it
year.
did it in 10 episodes with a smaller cast than DBZ. When we go to conventions, who do I see people cosplay as? Do I see DBZ? No.
Don't play like you don't see Goku.
No.
Do not play like
You
you
know who I'm
don't see Goku.
seeing though? I'm seeing a lot of Rebecca. I'm seeing Lucy.
It's
I'm
the-
seeing
it's the
David
new
Martin.
flavor.
You know, where are the POCs in yours?
Piccolo. There's a whole planet called Namek.
You do it back.
You don't even
Back,
know.
back, back.
Sal also is a POC. Freeze is a
We got
POC.
Jamaican
Different kind of
Man,
POC.
we
I was
got
gonna say.
Hispanic Man.
What are you talking?
Have you watched
I've seen it, yes.
Yeah.
But the fact that your examples go, I don't see these people at cons, it was anime of the year. Of course, Dragon Ball has been going on since like the 80s. It's been anime of the year every fucking year.
There are some iconic characters in DBZ.
Some?
Think of how long it's been around for that to be established versus how long this has been around, how short it's been to establish the premise that these characters created, that people fall in love to the point that they created the costumes, showed up, and in one anime they
Of course it's gonna get anime of the year it came out because Dragon Ball did not come out or put a season out that year period. But of course it's gonna get anime of the year because it's a new anime of that time. And it was great. I'm not saying it's not great, but for you to go serious and say that the cast of characters
Like,
bro,
I'll give
look
you-
at
I'll
that
give you
guy in that
Piccolo.
sticker. Look at that guy in that sticker.
I'll give you
Everyone
Piccolo.
around the world knows who Goku is.
Piccolo is cool.
Piccolo, Vegeta's cool. There's a whole army of cringe Gohan fans I don't want to acknowledge.
Cringe Gohan fans? Whoa.
That might be him, actually.
I do give you that.
And we're not even going back to Dragon Ball when they were kids, because that's really what inspired the entire
But
thing.
if we're talking about characters and the strength of characters, Goku, yes, you can debate his
Longevity.
uniqueness, but when you talked about David Martinez and his story and his motivation
Coming
and
of
his
age
ending,
story.
his
Oh my
ending
God,
though,
his ending
as a
is
character,
so bad.
that
We're
is
talking about plot.
incredible.
It's so bad.
When you talk about Lucy too, when she's trying to sacrifice to make sure he can.
How about you have a
be there for the
communication and
dream?
say this is the problem, but your plot is so dumb they don't just sit there and say, hey, this is why I'm so away from you and this is what's going on. And they
And I'm
in
not
the
even
end,
mentioning
the
like best
alternative
girl
is
Rebecca.
David
Rebecca
dies,
is best girl.
and then Lucy goes to the moon and oh, it's a bittersweet ending.
He didn't die and Lucy goes to the he sacrificed himself so Lucy could.
He never had to, and the reason behind it was so dumb.
He did, because that's kind of the concept of the story was burnout. It was sacrificing yourself so someone could achieve something, because he was not the type of person to be motivated for his own goals. Goku is, and guess what?
You
A
want me to
lot
tell
of
Goku to
other
sacrifice
characters,
himself for everybody?
a lot of other characters are written like Goku, and
Who's in the
that's
Tokyo
what
Olympics?
makes
Is it David or Goku?
That's what makes it cookie cutter. Though.
Is it David or Goku in the Tokyo Olympics?
What makes it cookie cutter is he's not unique in
He-
terms of his.
He started the whole thing. He is the benchmark to go and say, okay, what are we gonna write for an anime?
Find me
What are
another
the characters?
David. Find me another David.
A
Martinez.
another David?
I can name you a bunch of shonen guys that are basically
Similar to
copies of
David?
Goku. Like,
Okay, what's unique about David?
What's unique about David is
You know Naruto had no parents either, right? You know Goku had no parents either, right? You know every shonen character almost ever has no parents either.
Well,
What he
that's
does?
not what I was saying.
He got bullied in school?
Thank you for putting the words in my mouth. Those weren't what
I
was
mean,
saying.
his struggles are the same struggles as almost every shonen character written.
He didn't state that he wanted to become something. He was trying to be whatever he could be for the person he loved at the end of the day. It wasn't a motivation that was internal to himself. It was for somebody else. Because he is written as someone who's a martyr.
That is the biggest
Alright.
pop out.
We gotta vote now.
Anime of the year.
What are y'all
amazing
saying? Are
characters.
y'all saying
Anime
Dragon
of
Ball
the
Z?
decade.
Or are you
Anime
guys-
Anime of a
Amazing
lifetime
design.
versus anime of the year.
For
Cast.
cast.
He only talking about David, by the way. There's a million characters in Dragon Ball Z. There's an alternate universe for all the characters too. All these characters
And
are global
all the
icons.
time it took
David
for them
is just
to become
splashing.
big versus the 10 episodes that these
Beerus got big in one movie.
short
One
but
moment.
impactful.
2 hours, he was one of the
Short but impactful.
I'm gonna go DBZ. Go
Okay.
But that's because
getting
he's a
great.
DBZ
I mean,
guy.
Come on now, he's
All
in the
right,
Olympics.
AK.
I think it's the only category I would have wanted had it win. I don't know what's here, but I think I have to go with DBZ. I'm sorry.
Ooh, Kumar.
Yeah, the cast is too strong.
It's too
There it is.
strong.
I love
It's
Cyberpunk.
so-
This is literally the
Oh,
only
man.
category
I know.
where Cyberpunk lacks in comparison to Dragon Ball. Like if there was another category,
Like what?
Animation.
like
I mean, yeah, okay,
I'm just
I'm not
like-
disagreeing though. I had to defend my standpoint with Cyberpunk and
You did good.
that.
Rob, what was
feel.
you?
I like how we're all like kind of agreeing at the
It's
end.
because,
Like for the last
it's
round too.
because
Oh,
it's so long running and iconic.
Bliss.
It's a hard one for me to fight.
That was so
That's
hard
that's
too.
hard.
Cast
That
was
was-
so
that was- that
hard.
cast versus cast is tough.
that was a tough pick.
All right, so next up we got One Piece versus Samurai Champloo.
Get him.
Yo, Team One Piece.
Samurai Champloo's my favorite anime. What we
And
got?
the topic is consistency.
Oh.
Just.
1,000 episodes.
That,
I mean, listen.
conversation's over.
What do you? How is it over?
You won.
One Piece is elite. You already know. Look at all of the arcs that have gone crazy. Okay. You got me laughing. Consistency, I'm giving that to One Piece all day. I mean, I love Samurai Champloo, but I'm looking at arcs like Marineford, and then following up with Fishman Island and all of these things. Like One Piece has done crazy pre-time skip and post-time skip. And then you could even talk about Oda drawing back to older characters and bringing them to present day arcs. Consistency is top tier. You got to give it to One Piece. That's me.
That's an interesting topic. because One Piece is currently 1,000+ episodes.
Going crazy.
Going crazy.
Mhm.
But I will say, it's interesting because Samurai Champloo it's one of those shows where each episode is its own story, kind of like Cowboy Bebop. So
It's episodic.
it's episodic, so it's funny because like anyone can jump in and watch it. My main thing is within the 24 episodes, they do what they set out to do in the story. It's consistent, albeit each episode is kind of its own story because they go on different adventures each episode. But because
Come on.
my show is done,
Come on.
my story is done. Samurai Champloo wrapped up the plot in the episodes it had consistently.
What does that mean?
That means
Just
that
what does that
we
mean?
don't know what could happen
Come
with
on.
One Piece. We don't know what could happen.
But listen, we all know what's gonna happen. We gonna find out what the One Piece is, and everybody is watching One Piece right now just so they can build up on that hype
But
and
what
find out.
happens
You do
if
not
the-
want to be the person that's left out. Oda has consistently made you think about the One Piece and what is
But
going
what
to
happens if the One Piece is not what y'all want the One Piece to be, and it
We
ruins
can't worry
the story?
about. We can't
What
worry about
happens
that.
if it ruins
We
the
can't worry
story?
about that.
So for consistency, I would also think that would consider like how consistent is it with enjoyableness, which is not a word.
One Piece, you could say, is consistent in using the same formula over and over. Are we using consistency as like, are they recycle consistently? Or are we using consistently as they consistently are original and reinvent?
What does that mean,
She
Dave?
just said in a very eloquent and beautiful way. One Piece is mid.
Nah,
No.
I didn't say that.
To answer your questions though, like Steph Curry misses jump shots. He's still the greatest shooter of all time, right? And when I see
that,
One
I like
Piece,
that.
One Piece shows up every single time. Now, obviously, there are some arcs that people will like more than others. You could say sometimes the pacing is a little bit slow, but everybody keeps watching. Everybody keeps reading. Why? Because we know how elite One Piece is. We know how hyped the story is, and it's consistently building up that hype. Even though there are some episodes that kind of don't keep up all the time, I still think overall, as an entire body of work, One Piece consistently shows up.
Because of how many episodes there are of One Piece, I'm gonna go back to your basketball reference. The more shots you take, the more misses that you might have, the lower the shooting percentage statistically can go.
If One Piece was dropping in quality, why would it get this much playing time?
Because it's got a lot of fans.
A lot of shows like that would get canceled.
It's got what?
A lot of
Stockholm syndrome.
McDonald's.
shows will get canceled. Shows will get dropped.
High School DxD has 4 or 5 ongoing seasons, and it has not stopped yet.
Boruto's still going.
Naruto's on hiatus, Chin, because it's not showing up consistently. That's my point. One Piece, you don't have to worry about that.
Of course, why would they stop a money train from going if they're gonna keep raking in the views from all the fan base? You guys have amazing fans. Like you cannot compare that to a show that is done. The story is finished. There is not gonna be a Samurai Champloo season 2 ever. And if they do, holler, let me know.
I wonder why.
Because they told the story. It's done. Come on. So you know how you just said that like One Piece consistently shows up, it doesn't stop, right? The train keeps going, therefore it's good. Can you speak to them about what's going on with MCU and how bad the MCU is now? It just keeps going. You know what? Because you're already on the train, bro. You're not gonna get off.
Shows get canceled all the time. When you're talking about anime, Gabe,
I'm
all
talking
the
about
time.
media, entertainment.
I think this could go either way, which I kind of like. I think this is good.
The most consistent thing about One Piece is that I gotta skip the first like 6 minutes of the episode.
A whole video about that coming out.
Oh,
Hey,
hold on.
This was our chance. The take back was ours from
That's true, that's true.
Come on, Perry. I need this.
When it comes to the term consistency and how you guys have been defining it, I would still have to give it to One Piece. I think you had a great argument.
Let Gabe go because I know he's gonna rock with me.
Look, man.
Oh, he's about to
You
rock
can
me.
say consistent. Call of Duty comes out every year. That doesn't mean it's good.
You're right.
There's Pokemon comes out every year. That doesn't mean it's good. Things continually come out because it's a multi-million or billion-dollar business. Therefore, just saying because it's still going on does not necessarily mean it's good.
I went down that avenue, but the problem is the theme on the card is just consistent.
I mean,
it's not consistently good.
Because Samurai Champloo from episode 1 to episode
You wanted
24
proof
is
of a consistent
consistently
anime?
good. One Piece is not consistently good all the way through.
So you pick it.
I'm thinking Samurai Champloo. It's not consistently good.
You're
Sorry.
right.
I like that you
You're-
are though. I like that you're.
You
picking
need
it.
all of this to get your One Piece is amazing, whereas Samurai Champloo is just this. Right to the end. You're not being baited. You're not being held your hand for 15 fucking years. I'm going Samurai Champloo.
Here, bro.
All right,
I'm
so
with you, bro. One Piece.
it's like a peanut butter jelly sandwich. It's not just continuing because it's making money. I think it's continuing because we always will like the consistency that it gives us because it's always really good every time you do it and watch it, and it's consistent.
And the
So I'm picking
formula
One Piece.
works.
formula
This
works?
sounds like a W.
Yo, I had to speak my piece, man. I knew consistency, like, was
That's a
probably the
tough
one
topic.
topic.
I have recency bias.
You
We
already-
all got screwed with our
You're
topics.
talking to stands who are never gonna see any of them.
Yo,
Because they're
he's a
so
hater.
attached to trying to find
He's
out
a
how this
hater.
thing ends that they're gonna be coping
Stop
when it
him.
ends like every other anime.
I want
You better-
a
Stockholm.
rematch.
So that's what I'm saying. It's not fair.
Stockholm syndrome.
I want
I
a
have recency
rematch.
bias.
It was good. It was good.
If Gabe was in that chair, I'd probably listen to this.
Tough fight. Tough fight.
All right, next up we got Code Geass going up against Dragon Ball Z.
Alright. Oh.
What's the topic?
Fights.
Come on!
Fights.
Come on!
Oh man.
Do I even gotta speak?
Oh,
Do I?
I'm telling you, these topics are rigged.
Everybody
I'm
just
done. I get 15.
cut the sound.
What?
Cut the sound.
Oh,
Here. Cut the sound. Quiet on set. Go.
Go ahead.
Preach about the fights.
Been going on 20, 30 years. Tournament of Power, Majin Vegeta tournament, Majin Vegeta versus Goku, iconic. Frieza versus Goku, iconic.
This is fights the anime.
This
What do you
is
want me to
anime.
do?
You want to talk about iconic? This body's One Piece, even if it was in the same category.
This
What do you
is
say?
crazy.
All right, next up we got One Piece going up against Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, man. Let's do it. AK, come on up.
I got this. I got this.
I'm not even worried.
Depending on what it is,
I'm a
this might be
little
tough.
worried.
Bro,
I'm
it
a
don't
little
matter what
worried.
it is.
It's not as good as Full Metal.
Gabe is biased.
We've seen how those categories can throw it for a loop. I'm also arguing with Luffy. Like, I'm arguing with the One Piece.
You guys ready for your topic?
Give me
I'm
something
sorry.
good. Shuffle up, please.
I am very excited for this debate. Your topic is peaks.
Yes. One Piece peaks. We can talk about Nico Robin. Telling what? You have an issue with that? Nico Robin saying that she wants to live is peak fiction. Luffy saving Nami in Arlong Park is peak fiction.
Can we get a Gabe
I'm saying it.
impersonation of Nami for the Daisuke?
Look, you think One Piece is mid and you know the quote. So
We're not talking
see-
about iconic though. We're talking about peaks. But go on.
Yeah, we're talking. All right. I've watched Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. I enjoyed the show. I think it's amazing. But listen, I've watched One Piece episodes and I've read chapters where I had to pause and take a break because there was some great revelation that Oda has set up beautifully. Whether it was Raizo Dono
so
is
cute.
safe. I mean,
That's
what are
really
we talking
cute.
about? Come on, One Piece has so many peaks. It's crazy. The reason why I'm watching the show right now is to find out the biggest reveal of all time in
The
fiction.
biggest
Probably.
peak, right? It's coming up.
Right.
I argue that One Piece hasn't hit its peak yet, so we can't give it that dub yet. I don't think One Piece has hit its peak. I think a concluded, final, completed, perfect from beginning to end anime has a peak. As a librarian who knows literature, a peak is when from beginning to end, you have the beginning, middle, and end. Like I'm going back to my second graders, teach them about storytelling, right? The peak is when we hit the point where either the relationships or the plot get to the point where somebody has to make that big choice or something big has to happen. There are, like you said, so many peaks. This has the plot peaks. This has the character peaks. Like those little moments are those peaks when they finally confess their love for each other. I have that burned in the back. I'm getting goosebumps. And because it has that completed story, I don't think something that hasn't hit its peak yet, I don't think something that hasn't been concluded can even be argued in this category. It's like child's play to the Bible.
Let me hold on. Hold on. Relax. I kind of like how you say One Piece hasn't hit its peak yet. I think it's gonna go higher too. As
I do.
Can we get much higher?
I
You know
think
what I'm saying?
I think
But-
it'll go higher. I don't even think it'll ever hit this though.
Huh?
Even at peak.
Wait. What's your highest peak in Full Metal?
The start of the show is them losing everything because they screwed with alchemy and he lost his body. They got to, like I was saying, from beginning to end, you have that build up. There's so many other peaks happening at the same time, like the alchemy circle all of a sudden coming together and you realize it's a giant alchemy circle and everything's going to get messed up. But the final peak that you are working towards is him getting his body back. That final moment where he is able to have that conclusive peak. What's the category again? Sorry, one more time.
Peaks.
Peak. That final peak that we've been working for since the beginning happens. And when that happens, we get the best anime of all time.
Let's
I
just
really
pretend the
think so.
One Piece ends up just being some. Let's just worst case scenario. It's a piece of treasure.
Why are you doing that?
Well, I'm saying. Because
You're trying to set up the worst case.
No. because we know what Fullmetal Alchemist's ending is, and it glorifies and makes everything in Fullmetal Alchemist worth the journey. It respects the entire thing. But if the ending for One Piece is just a generic shonen time skip, oh ha ha ha, here's a treasure, Luffy's a king of the pirates now, it just makes that whole journey valley with some peaks. Whereas this is just the summit. It's all the way to the summit.
Just because I've seen FMAB all the way through, I gotta go with Brotherhood, bro. I gotta go with Brotherhood.
So I originally started out leaning with AK with her roadmap, climax, definition of what a peak is. And then when you started bringing in the iconic moments of One Piece, I was like, those are peak. But once we brought it back to how all the roadmaps built up to the point of the amazing peak that we see in Fullmetal, and One Piece isn't there yet. Yes, they had great peaks, but we can't fully say that each one contributes to that final summit until we see it.
Gotcha.
It's really tough to argue with that when one is so well defined. So, Fullmetal.
Put the knife in his heart.
So basically, every moment and peak that you get to Fullmetal Alchemist, it just adds on top of whatever was the highest point. One Piece, it gets to a high point, and then there's some low, and then it gets to another high point, but it didn't add on to that base level. Like the floor dropped a little bit because it did go down. It never kept adding on. Fullmetal Alchemist, again, it's a lot less episodes, but it kept boom, 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 boom. Like One Piece is like
Every revelation. Stats.
like that.
One Piece's
So I'm going Fullmetal.
revelations.
All right.
Naruto boys are up! Yeah! Let's go! One Piece!
Ninja gang!
I can't believe Gabe finessed
No, it all
everybody.
depends on the
All right, last round. We got DBZ going up against Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. Let's get it.
I don't want to really argue with definitions
Good luck.
again.
To myself.
I want to argue with names.
Good luck to me.
the final round.
What you got? You got DBZ, right? Oh yeah, I hope I get some straight. Yeah. Oh wow. Protagonist.
Oh,
You're talking about the protagonist. Let's be real. The protagonist. Why? I'll let you take the floor.
No, why don't you go first?
Because I need you to, you know.
He's waiting.
I'm giving
You
stalling.
sound like you're stressing.
No, he's not.
I was gonna
He's
say, it
setting
sounds
a
like he's
trap.
stalling.
Yeah, he's stalling.
He wants to punch holes in it.
This is my favorite anime.
I think one of the reasons why Full Metal is so loved by almost everybody is that it can be loved by anybody. So loved, and I think one of the reasons why it's so loved is because of its characters. The
Talk
best
about it.
character. I was getting there. Relax. As I was saying, before I was interrupted, the best character, maybe of all time, he has that drive from the beginning to the end that makes everybody go, this is the most perfectly well-written character. He's not flawless, but he's not flawed. He's perfectly written. He is the reason. I think if this show didn't have him, it wouldn't be the show that it is.
You said a lot of beautiful things.
Thank you.
All right.
I'm also pretty.
I agree with everything. I agree with everything you said.
Mhm.
Okay. Perfect protagonist.
Mhm.
Perfect everything.
Wrong. All right.
Goku is literally the template in which every protagonist in anime is based on, is created around. It is the most successful character trope in the world for a reason. This is why it's replicated all the time. This is Goku with a fucking straw hat on and he stretches.
Here we go.
This is.
Here we go.
So then what's Ed
So,
to him?
Ed is great. I think that going to the flaws, 100%. Goku is not as flawed as Ed. But what Goku does is super self-sacrificing. I mean, the man has died 4 or 5 times. This guy is Jesus at this point. He always comes back, right? He's the reliable part of the story that you can always count on. Goku will save the interview. Takes his #1 arch enemy while he's laying on the floor like, and he says, you know what? Hold that down. That's a little bit of my power. Come back up because you can be redeemed, which is a very admirable trait. One A character can say, you know what? You may be the most maniacal piece of shit in the world, but you can be redeemed. And I'm gonna hold that little bit of blessing on you. And that's what Goku does. Goku blesses everybody he touches in that show. Everybody tries to be better than Goku. He is the benchmark, and that is the most important thing. He is the benchmark that all these characters are trying to pass. And no one has ever passed him. Hence why he's been living as long as he has. He's in the Olympics. He's on every game. This guy is in Fortnite. Luffy's not there yet.
I can see it happening.
Edward's not in Fortnite.
So do you think him dying every single one of those times makes it like not hit as well every time. Because if he can keep coming back, is it as admirable and selfless and cool if he knows he's just gonna come back?
No, not at all. And I agree with you. It makes it dwindles the impact of it every time. Like, oh, Goku
Yeah.
died, he's gonna come back.
Yeah.
Right? And when he came back, and when he had that moment when he saw Goten for the very first time, he's like, I'm Goten. Tears. Even though we've seen him die every time, he comes back to like, yo, that's my son. That whole
But
moment.
if it's tears, do you
But the thing
not,
is,
not trying the same?
Of course I cried. I cried way more in Dragon Ball Z than Fullmetal.
Ooh.
Not 100%.
Ed is a better written character. I think he's a better written protagonist. I think, like you said, he does not have as many flaws, or Goku doesn't have as many flaws. He doesn't have as many downfalls, which doesn't make him, like when he dies and comes back, it doesn't hit the same. I just don't think he doesn't hit the same.
Some might say he's the peak.
So, AK, you're saying Goku lacks depth.
It's not depth, it's just the nuance. It's not the
But when you-
it's not the humanity that I think Ed gives us, which is why people love that show so much.
Gabe, does the way Goku is being handled and written in Super right now, do you think it's still nostalgia that Goku is still the guy, or do you still think even with the way they kind of changed him as a character, like not as serious, like more like cartoony, more jokey, like does that kind of affect people's like limelight on Goku as the like protagonist?
I'm asking you this, when Goku got Ultra Instinct, what happened? What was the thing you heard every single day? That was all over the world. And I don't think, even though he's been written differently, that doesn't take away from who that protagonist is and who that character is, period. It's Goku.
So, with all that said, I gotta give it to Goku.
Thank you.
I love Goku and I love Edward Elric.
Oh no.
But when we're thinking about iconic characters,
You can't say Luffy.
when Goku shows up, it's something that's different. You can say it's probably nostalgia, and I think when you're talking about as an anime, right, you can definitely rate Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood higher as a complete body of work. But if you're talking about two separate characters, so for me, I gotta go with Goku, which means
Are we doing rock, paper, scissors?
we're at a tie. So we gotta do a speed bonus round
I'm gonna say.
of a different topic.
Oh my god.
I'm
Animation.
Oh, man.
Go.
Oh man.
I'm gonna say that I love Dragon Ball Z's original animation. It's iconic. There's so many memes about it, how it's transformed to Super to now. So comparing them at their times, when they were both beat out at the same time, I would give Dragon Ball Z the animation they did. Vegeta's neck has more character development than most people in the anime. It's true. Yeah, there's more character development than a lot of people. What would you say?
I don't think we need to compare it from time to time. I think we just compare it just as looking
Okay.
at it.
Cool,
And
cool.
I think Dragon Ball Z's animation is a meme for a reason. I really don't think it can uphold almost anything on this list, really, in comparison to animation. I think you got a bad pull. The fights, the physical characters, all of that in Full Metal Brotherhood, I think it just beats it. I think it's a bad category for Dragon Ball.
Alright, Harry, who'd you pick?
I have to say Full Metal for animation.
No?
I gotta go Brotherhood for animation as well.
I think there are moments, especially in Super and in OG Dragon Ball, that have great animation for its time. Even DBZ has great animation, but I can't say it's consistently doing what Full Metal is doing, so I gotta go Full Metal animation.
Yeah, that
I was
was,
gonna say, if it was regular Dragon Ball Z without Super.
I mean, technically it is Dragon Ball Z. It doesn't say Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, I was gonna say because Super had that like
You know, Full
18
Metal Alchemist is
episodes
regular.
of,
Yeah,
like,
Full Metal Alchemist.
Microsoft. Yeah,
know what I'm
I mean,
saying? Really-
yeah, because Super had the Microsoft Paint, guys come in, guys off the street.
that was a bad pull for Dragon Ball.
I mean,
I'm
I would
gonna
just
say
say Dragon Ball
four.
has better special effects. You know, these people transform. It's way more. I mean, I know what's true.
I don't know, that's enough out of you, Gabe.
Is there another one?
Oh,
You're going.
this would have been a D1.
Oh, that's what it wins off of that.
Emotional moment.
AK wins the
No,
bracket.
what?
AK wins the
This
bracket,
would've been-
man.
No, you
What do I
see,
win?
this is
would
a
have been
better
fun to
topic.
talk about.
Yeah,
Too
but
bad. For what, dude?
But
Yeah.
you want emotional moments.
That's not.
I don't know. I mean, we all tried to turn Super Saiyan at least once, so I mean.
People are screaming.
Again, I am so glad I won you two over because I think Goku should have won.
yeah, that's what I was like. I was
But
like,
guess
yeah,
what?
Goku
You
should-
get given your
Goku
category,
did
you gotta argue it.
Look at her. Look at her. What she said?
I have to argue it.
What'd
I'm
you say?
just
What'd
so
you-
I would have. Well, this is just showing that I'm a
Oh,
better
let me-
arguer than you because I ended up winning, right?
All right, so we got Full Metal winning the bracket. AK, you guys let us know down in the comment section below which show you think should have won. Obviously, it should have been One Piece, but you know what it is. Gabe is here, so it didn't happen. And with that, we'll see you guys next time.
You
Topics were right. Bye.
You literally did not.
All right.